Oh, it's getting pretty late at the moment for me. Talk about getting home and getting this done. Needs to get this done. Greetings and welcome to Shadowstar and this Star Trek Online Starship review video. Stats review video, should I say. And I'm going to get straight on with this. No having my flagship on screen, no. The USS Shadowstar is in dock right now. Say hello to the USS Valhalla. Or as some of you may know her, the Crossfield class Refit and the USS Discovery A. Bit awkward that, because I'm not sure why she'd be the USS Discovery A when there were other USS Discoveries. But okay. On that note, it's nice to see this ship now in the game. Admittedly, we have a lot of crossfields, that might be a bad thing, but there's a lot we can cover with this ship and this could be a longer review, so sit back and get comfortable. Also, at the end, I may have to note something new, but on that very same note, I need to give a thank you right now to the people that have made this video possible. As I would like to always do with my reviews, give credit to those where credit is due. So can I please say a massive thank you to my Patreons who better be listening out for me, primarily on Discord if you can, please. I will try and get a hold of all of you because I have a little plan for you all. Tribal Typhoon, TravisGames, Darkstars Order, Cross-Eyed Deplorable, and Skyhawkings. Yeah, I'm working on something with those guys, hopefully. My Twitch subscribers, Tribal Typhoon again, Miss Future Teach and Fox Plays Games. And to my donation supporters, Dante Demonic, Night Runner 678, Skyhawkings is back again, and the massive donation that just came in, literally last second and really made this video possible, Negus. Showing a little bit extra credit there because I almost didn't get this ship. There's a lot going on here, a lot going on. I had to take some time to do some actual proper research for this ship because it is going to be good. Also, a secondary thank you and credit given to Augment Dictator Games. He's linked below along with his video with this ship. Please guys, please go check him out. He does this ship such good credit and his builds are amazing. He's such a good STO content creator. Please guys, check this legendary guy out. But with that being said, long enough introduction. We need to quickly take a look at her customizations and then we're going to jump straight in with that one thing everyone's looking forward to. You know, the Voyager J is still in Earth space stock, sitting there in the hangar. Why have they not changed it for this ship? This ship is better than that ship. Oh. Not this ship. This ship. Okay, all jokes aside though. First of all, I do believe you only gain each template should you have acquired the ship. So since I only have 2 of the Crossfields, the Crossfield and the Crossfield Refit, those are the only 2 templates I can use. Not necessarily a problem, but you probably get some better kit bashing going on if you had the other options. I'm not going to complain too much though because, well, I've got the 2 that I really want and the only other one I want I can't get because it's legendary. And why would I spend that much money to only want 3 of the ships in a 10 ship bundle? Outside of that, at least with this, you still get the Crossfield Bridge, which is very nice, alongside the Walker and alternate options that you may or may not have acquired. You also get the options of the Crossfield Refit windows, along with the Crossfield windows, and the other alternate types all the way up to Type 7, well, Type 0, Type 7. And we also gain access to many hull interiors. Now, admittedly on this ship, it does look really good with its natural look. Even better with the original Discovery look. But that's not to say you might not want to staple on some of these other looks. I mean, you get some really nice outcomes for the skin with these. I've seen so many beautiful looking Crossfield refits already, and I'm hoping to see more, if I'm honest. You know, the Legendary, considering the Legendary is supposed to have access to all templates, did the Legendary Glen class get this one straight away? I wonder. You know, it does look good in the ship. My personal favourite, the upgrade. Oh, it's shiny and it's good and it's tough. Yeah, I really like this one. Oh, but we won't discount the Type 5. That's another nice looking variant on the skin. It gives it a very high-tech look as well. Do you think I love the way the ship looks customized wise? You can also, if you wish, don't have to, have the hangar bay open or have the hangar bay closed. That's a nice tidbit they've put straight over so you can get some very good looks on the ship and have it looking the way you want it, very nice and quick. You do have the whole saucer neck and the sails that can be adjusted, and the inner rings, though they can't be changed, can be modified with their paint patterns, and you may wish to take account on this because whenever you say throw the Emperor's Vanity Shield on, which is a very dark hull plate, it will not change the way the ring itself looks. The ring will still be, if you're using Type 5, this silver. Just something to keep in mind. Okay, so with this being said, let's get to what you guys really want to see. So why not use a little bit of demo record to show her in a bit of a nicer light here under DS9. Oh, and while we're at it, here's her stats. She is a magnificent ship. It should be duly noted that up till now, I would have said the Disco Connie is one of the best ships in the game, personally speaking, especially when it comes down to versatility. But this ship, oh my word, this ship is something else. This ship is absolutely brilliant in my opinion. And the first thing I want to know is that she is a miracle worker ship. You know, I like to make a joke. Miracle Worker is just another way of saying overpowered. OP. Miracle Workers are really damn good in this game, I've noticed. Mostly for their versatility. Maybe that's why I like them. But let's get into this. She is a Tier 6 science vessel, known as the Crossfield Science Spearhead Refit. At level 65, her hull is 63,000 with a hull modifier of 1.4 and a shield modifier of 1.1. A turn rate of 11, sorry for my sniffing, impulse modifier of 0.2, inertia rating impressively at 60, and her warp core functions are bonused by the bonus power settings of +5 to weapons, shields and engines, while auxiliary gains +15. She has 5 forward weapons and 3 aft with the ability to equip dual cannons, which I wish I had the ability to show you exactly how good the cannons are on this ship, but oh my, definitely one of the good options for the ship. Her secondary deflector is one of her centerpieces, making her incredibly strong. With 3 device slots, she has 3 tactical console slots, 3 engineering console slots, 5 science console slots, and 1 universal console slot. Bearing in mind, if you X upgrade, this will give a extra universal console slot, meaning both tactical and engineering can be increased to 5 at maximum. You could increase tactical and engineering both to 4, or you can increase science up to 7 at maximum. This is going to give her some centralized abilities and make her incredibly dangerous. Seriously, I'm not done yet. This lockbox ship is also equipped with the Federation Battle Cloak. This is going to help her in all of her primary build styles. Her console we'll get into later, but she also has the equipment of the sensor analysis, subsystem targeting, cylindrical quantum slipstream drive, and the innovation effects of being a miracle worker. Her Admiralty stats are a great engineering 37, tactical 30, Science, 59. Okay, maybe not so great on that one, but still good. I'm not even done talking about this ship yet, because this doesn't really break it down at all. No, starting from lowest rank heading up, she has a Ensign Engineering Bridge Officer seating. Then we go up to her Lieutenant Commander Universal seating with Command Specialization. We then have another Universal Lieutenant Commander seating, no specialization, and then Lieutenant Commander Tactical seating. Finally, her Commander seating is Science with Miracle Worker specialization. So let me break down right now, and hopefully not take too long to do this, just what makes this ship so goddamn impressive. I don't even need to go into her traits. I don't even need to go into her console or her unique weapons to explain why I was so desperate to get this ship, but at the same time, why I had to get her by opening lockboxes rather than just buying her on the exchange, because, quite frankly, the weapons she comes with could even be a new meta. Let me get there. How to explain what we have going on with this ship? Well, I will put it this way. I'm not even going to wait to the end of the video to straight up say this. She's useful to everyone for so many reasons. So many reasons. The end of this video is going to be a long haul on the conclusion. Tanks can really utilize her shield modifier and her abilities just to really ramp up and do a 5-5 with science and engineering, or over the top the science up to 7 or 4, 6. This ship will be a regenerative tank monster. Her DPS potential, as demonstrated again, I would like to mention again, Augment Dictator Games has demonstrated this really well with his video, is another thing that is through the roof. It's incredible the amount of damage he got out of this, and the side talk build he's got is considering how quickly he's come up with it. I know he's a master of these builds, but you gotta think, he's come up with this build so quick that it can't be completely refined yet. He can still improve on it most likely, and yet he's already got it up to this level. It's incredible. Just wait until he's refined it completely. The cannons and beam builds with this ship are just as dangerous, if not probably more powerful. I don't really know if I would consider this a talk boat, but yeah, Auggy's made it into one, incredibly so. But then we take on my favourite field, the support players field, the support builds. This ship, I'm sorry, I'm going to say it right now, argue with me if you want. Personally speaking, this is the support titan of now. I do not believe there is a better support boat out there, and yes, I know how good the Titan class is. Yes, I know how good the Voyager J is. There are some really good support ships, yes, I will agree. But I just feel like this ship takes the cake. She's incredibly powerful in support builds. Just across the boat, all side builds with her are going to be astonishingly good. But she doesn't just elite in the science side of things and support builds. She can still do everything else really damn well, like extremely well. With that being noted, can we get on to other things so I can leave the rest for the conclusion? Let's okay, let's talk about the weapons, the possible new meta next. Okay, so one of the first things I want to state here is, well, on my way over here, I had to use Quantum Slipstream Drive, of course, and it lasted the full distance, even though I actually had to slow down in order to turn a bit. Impressive. But, you know what else is impressive? The weapons you get with this ship. Now, I've actually already got rid of them because I've been test building and running things, but I want to show you exactly what's going on here. So, with this ship, you get the Federation Phasers 32nd Century Refit version. Not to be confused with the Federation Phasers 32nd Century version. So, what's going on with these weapons? Okay, so first of all, main reason why I got the ship from the lockbox and opened loads of lockboxes was to get a hold of these weapons, because I believe they're going to be a new meta. Why? It's going to take a little explaining, so let's see if I can do this well. Presently, there is a meta in the game to use in order to improve your bridge officer's cooldown time. In order to achieve this, what you tend to do is you have assigned duty officers to the ship, which all have the ability to reduce bridge officer cooldown time when you trigger Ox the Bat. Great, and at the moment, well, up to now, there's basically not really been anything else that really matches how effective that can be. Up till now. Now, thanks to some testing with some fellow viewers, or some of you guys, and myself with other colleagues I like to fly with, we've actually been able to get and find that these new phaser weapons can assist the cooldown so well that when combined with Photonic Officer instead, you actually end up with almost the same, if not the same, cooldown time as the present meta. Now that was surprising. So this ability I'm talking about, that is the 2.5% chance. Oh, hang on. They've moved it on me. How dare they? The 2.5% chance to recover 5% of the bridge officer ability's recharge, an additional 0.5% per second for 20 seconds. This can appear, as far as I've seen, to stack. I've utilized this for the best outcome with between 4 to 5 of these weapons, and you'll find yourself almost on par with the present meta. Go beyond that and you are definitely on par with it, I would say. That being said, take that away from it and you do technically have to view these weapons as slightly stronger phasers. I think they do a little bit more than average phaser damage. Not necessarily a bad thing, but not always great. They do decent amount of damage though. And for those wondering, what's the difference between the 30-second refit and the 30-second normal? Well, the colour. They literally fire the same, it's just you either have teal or you have blue. In fact, to describe them at their best, think of it as a beam like the covert phaser beams in appearance, with the coloration of the advanced phaser beam. And it is a more solid beam as well. To be more direct, the refit variant is an upgrade. Well, it's supposed to be a direct upgrade on the sensor linked, which is why they're blue. Just, yeah, for some reason they got darker. I'm not going to explain it. I am flying the 32nd Century, that's all you need to know. So away from the weapons, we can turn on to, I guess, what is more interesting to the ship. The console. Now, this console, the Universal Console Quasian Assault Craft, allows you to launch Book's ship, essentially. It's a pretty damn strong assault craft. In comparison to other assault crafts we've had up to now, I would say it's the best. It's definitely superior to the Aquila, but then that's a tier 5 console. And even some of the more upgraded variations that you may find, this one I still believe tops out them as far as the assault craft itself goes. And the passive abilities are just a great bonus to that, with plus 7.5% to your maximum hull capacity, plus 7.1% to your outgoing hull healing, and the plus 12.5% 5 to your cooldown reduction on Miracle Worker bridge officers, you'll find that that is a very useful thing when it comes to boosting the engineering parametered outputs of this ship. If you consider that the command seating is a science, but if you utilize the Miracle Worker alongside that, you gain a better tank, you also gain somewhat better DPS, and you definitely gain a better support ship. Now, on that very same note, beyond that, I will only rank this console at, I'm going to go with 6.5 out of 10. This is on the pure parameters of the fact that you can get better consoles for those the main parts of its passive effects. You can get better consoles. And Equation Assault Craft, as much as it is an escort, it's still another pet. If you want to really utilize pets well, you're better off going with a carrier. Hell, the Jemadar will show you how that's done properly. That's the only assault craft I think is better than this one, actually. Now, with that one being said, to the trait, we get another story again. So this trait is Universal Designs. Honestly, I think that's a great name. It's a good little reference to Season 3 of Star Trek Discovery. It gives you quick buffs from using universal consoles. Just one minor hitch. Just one. When activating a universal console, lasts for 20 seconds and can be stacked up to 5 times, you will gain plus 2% to critical chance and 10% to critical severity. Some of you are probably thinking, how is there a minor? Oh, for example, this Equation Assault Craft is what would be called an active console. You have to click trigger it to get it to work. However, Bioneural Infusion Circuits, that's a passive console. Why? There is no click trigger for it. There is no second way to activate it. This console, despite being a universal console, technically, well, unfortunately, doesn't actually help very much when it comes to that trait. Now, it would be nicer if that trait worked by, say you have 5 universal consoles equipped, but only one of them is an active console. You trigger the active console and it accounts for the other 4 that are passive and gives you the 5 stack bonus. Anyway, but that's not how it works. To me, that is personally a bit of a miss. It would have been a much better trait if it was that. So honestly, my final viewpoint on this is it's a 4 out of 10 trait. As much as it sounds really good, because I know a lot of people like their crit chance and crit severity, I'm sorry, but by going to utilize this trait at its full potential, you're not going to be utilizing your build at its full potential, and that is a problem. Build first, then trait, in my opinion. Now, before we go and take the ship and test it in action, and give you a show off of what the 32nd century phasers can do and all that, I would just like to also dub to you the Parasitic Ice Containment Vessel. This is a console you get from the lockbox that this ship is in, along with the weapons. Of course, the weapons came from that same lockbox. At plus 15% to cannon weapon damage and projectile weapon damage, plus 5% to your 50% to cold damage, plus 50 to cold damage resistance rating. Really good considering that's an exotic damage type and also very difficult to protect against. And plus 25 to Starship exotic particle generators, again great for exotic damage players. This is honestly speaking a very good console, and I can see it being very useful to torp builds and cannon builds. Definitely to cannon builds. On that same dub though, the actual active ability of it, not as much, but it's still pretty good. It attaches a colony of parasitic ice to the foe for 20 seconds, disabling this foe's engines and taunts the foe while it survives. However, it will not taunt players, so this is not a PvP console. It deals 448.2 cold damage for every second it's attached, and when it expires, it will deal 5,783.4 cold damage. If the foe is destroyed during the duration, however, it will spread up to 3 nearby foes, maximum of 40 seconds for total duration. So say the foe is destroyed at 10 seconds, it will explode onto nearby foes of 3. Those next foes are destroyed at 19 seconds, one of them. It will then spread to the last one, but will only last 11 seconds on that final foe. The iced foes nearby will also stick together. Now, upon testing of this console, I believe when it says iced foes very near each other will stick together, what it means is within 1.5 kilometers. It may be more. I mean, I can't really tell you the exact distance between the two foes that I was keeping track of, but my estimation, most of the time that I saw them stick, it was around 1.5 kilometers, maybe 2 at the best. So that, yes, they have to be very close. Now then, enough of that, eh? I'm sure you would love to see this ship in action. My word, I do think extremely highly of her. So, let's show you her in action. Engage. Okay, now then, big thing to point out first of all. The build I'm utilizing is my specialty. Support DPS. This is a control-centric build that also utilizes exotic damage and focuses primarily on science and tactical output. Engineering is its weak spot, therefore I tend to take more damage. My stats always lower the engine stats to keep auxiliary shields and weapons as high in power as possible. And the primary goal of this build is to not only help my allies deal more damage, but allow me to deal decent levels of damage also. With this in mind, I'm using the Lorca maneuver from the Crossfield class, or the original Science Spearhead vessel. The original Crossfield we got. Why? Because that one boosts both drain and control, and unfortunately, as good as the new consoles are, this one just works better for me. Let me demonstrate. Also, we're utilizing the 32nd century phasers as I originally noted, because, well, I'm not going to be able to show this ship off at its full potential if I don't. Here we go. No, you bye bye. God, 5-cycle haste of Domino is useful. I didn't even actually have to control the buggers. Kind of disappointed. I know what I need to do. I'm not going to utilize any major ability just yet. In fact, I'm just going to heavy punch this guy too. For now. For now. No, I'm not. I am actually going to grip him. Yoink! Just got weakening him just enough so I can do one pass. Come on. Just one pass. Thank you. We're going to climb. Go straight for him too. Grab him. There we go. Just all I needed. Right where I wanted him. Nice little shock out for the exotic damage, and he's down. Right, I do need a bit of recharge. There we go, done, and we are going to be very naughty now. Come on. Jump, control. Didn't want to go past them, but okay. Oopsie daisy! If I had that position just a little bit better, they would already be dead. Sort of literally twitching around this guy here. Oh dear. Didn't really take too much damage there either. Not too bad, not gonna complain. I mean, I've had better runs. That last bit went a bit janked, but good enough for me. Okay, so in conclusion, you've heard me say it, but it's a simple fact, in my opinion. I will recommend this ship to everyone. Now, I could go along and give you a rated score for each segment, but here's my problem with that. This ship will score extremely highly, and at the same time, somewhat not. You see, as a side tank, this ship will score in an unusual way in comparison to its hull tank. And this is because in the hull tank, it's got great hull spec. In its shield tank, it has great science console specs. And these two things sort of null and balance each other, making one appear or feel a bit weak, but at the same time has its own strong suit. However, this ship is one of those weird ones. It likes to hybrid itself. It is innately trying to fulfill all roles at once. She is a cruiser, an escort, and a science vessel, functioning as one vessel. And that's what makes her so versatile and so strong. Why I recommend her so highly to every player type. To tanks. Her overall score from me will be 7.5 out of 10. Although if I was to say her separate components, it would be 6 out of 10 or 5 out of 10. Take a guess which one is which. But the thing is, she's a regenerative tank masterpiece, which I would easily rank at 8 out of 10. Same could be said for its DPS potential. She's quite low on tactical DPS side of things. In truth, she's got the right stuff as far as maneuverability, weapons, that stuff goes. She can endure as well, which is a nice bonus for a DPS build, but her bridge officer and her consoles are just not there really for DPS, right? Well, it can be if you X upgrade it. And the same thing can be sent back with the tank stuff. The side DPS side of the ship is phenomenally strong. There's no doubts around for it. So it's a 6 out of 10 tactical DPS. Could, if it wanted to be a 7 out of 10. And it's a 9 out of 10 side DPS. But hybrid tac side DPS build, very easy 8.5 out of 10. Very powerful, very strong in that manner. Because it combines the areas so well. So my overall DPS score would still be up there, the 8 to 9 out of 10 zone. As a science ship, I've already said that again. She's support ship. Support. As a support vessel, she is the support titan in my opinion. To me, I know the ships like the Voyager J, the Titan class, Science Miracle Worker support cruiser, the support carriers. They are incredible ships, but this ship just has something special about it, something extra that really nails, puts the nail in the coffin of other support ships in my opinion, and really makes it incredible for that type. And she hybrid supports so well. Easily getting a 10 out of 10 score from me in the support. My overall score for this ship, is 9.5 out of 10. And I don't know what she has to do. What's the one clicking difference? I think the clicking difference to achieve 10 out of 10 with me would actually be a stats thing. It'd be a visual thing for me. So is it unfair that I'm not letting her have 10 out of 10? I felt like I'm bullying her, but I recommend her to everyone because of her raw versatility and the fact that she is an incredible starship to take on any role with. You can be a tank and hybrid up yourself so that you are tanking and of course DPSing. Yes, I know they kind of do the same. Okay, you can be a Drainbow and a healer at the same time. There you go. You could be a control bot and a healer at the same time. You could be a DPS and a healer at the same time. That would be funny to see on the field. And that's what I mean. This ship is one of those multi-versatile ships that can do two roles with ease. And when she focuses on a role, she's just incredible. So I don't care if you are a new player, if you're extremely experienced, you've been playing for a little bit of time, you could be the best builder, like Augment Dictator, or the worst builder. I'm not going to give a reference here, I'd rather not get shot at. Probably me, actually. It doesn't matter who you are, this is a good ship for you. And I definitely recommend it to people who are not even sure what kind of build they want to go for. Because if you're not sure, that we finally have a ship in the game which, as much as we've got other ships that let you try out every style, this ship fits so comfortably within each ship style, the cruiser, the escort, the science vessel, that she really will let you practice out the other styles and really understand how they're going to feel, how they're going to act. So yeah, I recommend her to everyone. My chief warnings though are: 1, she's very expensive on the exchange, very expensive. 2, lockboxes are not the luckiest thing. With a 0.4% drop rate, you could be risking a lot. Yes, I know some people have got very lucky. I am very jealous of them. And there are some people, like me, who got very unlucky. Opened a lot of lockboxes, and only got 1. But you get your hands on her, guys. You've got your hands on one beauty of a vessel. And honestly, the only reason I can think of anyone selling this on the exchange is that they were lucky enough to get 2. Guys, what can I say about her? Skipping under, with that being said, this has been a very long video, and I really do appreciate your patience in watching it all the way to the very end. It means a lot to me. Guys, thank you so much for watching. And again, a massive thank you to Negus, Dante Demonic, Night Runner 678, Skyhawkings, Tribal Typhoon, TravisGames, Darkstars Order, Cross-Eyed Deplorable, Miss Future Teach, and Fox Plays Games. Massive thank you to all of you. The individuals that are credited on screen right now. This video wouldn't have been possible without you. Now, like I said, Patreon is sort of dropping out, but I will say this. If you have enjoyed this video, found it helpful, or find any of my videos useful, and you wish to help support this channel and say thank you in a way for the video, if that's what you want to do, there is a link in my description that will take you to the donations link that also shows up in my streams. Any small donation is greatly appreciated and all goes towards supporting the channel and the dream of this channel, as well as it lets me see that in a meter that gets measured during my streams. It can show up in my streams if done at the right time, and more than that, I would have really appreciated it if with each person that chooses to donate, you give a small message along with it, which is why I'm using the link that works with my streams as well. If you leave a small message along with that, let me know that you donated because such and such video and that. It lets me know exactly why I say thank you back to you. With this being said though, hopefully guys, you have enjoyed this video. You would consider subscribing, ring that notification bell so you can see more of this in the future, and you hit the like button to help me out when it comes to YouTube itself. Guys, thank you for watching. Until next time, remember to always stay true to yourself above anyone else. You are incredible, and you are a masterpiece. You can do anything you set your mind to. Believe in yourself, and live long and prosper. Ciao for now. That's not warp.